Okay, so this is going to be a quick guide about, well, not quick, this is going to be a whole mouthful of an mvm.tf guide. And if you don't know what mvm.tf is, it's a custom wave generator. So you make your own missions very easily. It is very user-friendly, and all of it's mostly straightforward, but in case you don't know, or if you want some pointers, anything like that, I'm here to guide you now. So, let's get started with the UI. The left is for robot stats, cosmetics, attributes, weapons, and behaviors. The right is for attributes for bots, weapons, and cosmetics. The middle is the wave info, bot spawning info, and just overall general mission settings. In the middle, we have four tabs. Let's start off with waves. You have credits to start, some small extras like fixed respawn time, and advanced mission. Advanced mission does nothing, it's just for achievements. Fixed respawn time is like Valve spawn times, long and random. Rest of it you can figure out what it does for just reading it. And the map, it comes with the map drop down comes with two Valve maps and two workshop ones. If you want your own map, you're going to have to look at the guide I'm going to provide in the description for extra pointers, or just look it up because I am not going to be showing you much of the inner workings. I'm just going to show you what mvm.tf can do by itself. Uh, Clicking generate creates a mission file, and it's going to be a .pop file. You're going to need this for later, so just once you're done making your mission, generate it, and then I'll show you how to install that later. Uh, Test no longer works, don't bother, and if you signed in through Steam, you can use the save and load function, so you can have your mission very handy on the website. From my knowledge, it is 100% safe, so go ahead. The description is just for your reference. This carries throughout all the entire wave, and the sound. This plays sound, a certain sound that you can choose. There's a big list in the description. I'll go over that at the end, and you can uh, you can play from a big list of sounds, a little description, and thanks to Waffles for making a video about how to even play sounds in Maris Machine missions and what sounds you could use. So check him out, and if you want more detail on that portion, then do look in the video in the description. Spawn settings, you can add waves and squads with the plus sign. The name is used for wait for functions, like wait for all dead, wait for all spawned. This can be whatever you want it to be, it's just for your reference and for the wait for functions. There's credits from the bot's total drop, so if you say you have 5 bots and there's 5 credits, each bot will drop 1 credit, so it should be evenly. The wait for is pretty self-explanatory. You put the name of the bot there, and it'll wait for that bot name for all dead or all spawned to then start this squad, to start the squad spawning. You have total squad count. This is how many squads of the robots will spawn. Max active is how many can be active at once. Make sure you keep it higher or equal than the squad spawn count, or it will break your mission and nothing will spawn. The rest of it's self-explanatory from there. The squad spawn count is how many robot squads will spawn at once. The rest of it is self-explanatory, like location, wait for, wait between, etc. Support, this means an infinite amount of these squads will spawn at a certain point. The squad total credits will just determine the squad total will determine which bots will drop credits. My mistake. Random spawn chooses a random spawn location for the robot. This is pretty handy if you just want to mix it up. I personally use this because it's nice having a random factor. Random choice gives you a choice option near the bottom above standard bot selection, and you can choose which bots will spawn, and the game will choose randomly which one of those bots will spawn. For example, if you have 2 scouts and a heavy, it could maybe go scout, 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 or go heavy, heavy, and scout, something like that, in just a random order. Add bot to squad. This is just a bunch of bots by default that are already made in game, as well as some custom ones added by default. You can use this to add squad members, and which I'll go over that later. And you can also use it just to add bots in general. Missions, these contain special bots. For example, the snipers. These ones have the blue laser sight, and only use the rifle. Girardi snipers, same thing. Spies, these spies will, spawn behind you, and they typically have better AI, and they're the same as support spies, but if you want them to spawn periodically, here you go. Sentry busters, they're sentry busters. Engineers, these are the engineers that teleport in and build teleporters and buildings and whatnot. The begin at / end at wave chooses what waves you want these mission bots to be active in. The initial cooldown is how long until these bots begin to spawn. Cooldown is how long before bots spawn again once they have all died. The rest, the other button is self-explanatory. Teleport is only for engineers, so this will determine the bots that spawn at the teleporter, and this can be whatever you want it. You can keep it blank and it'll spawn all bots there, or just one specific spawn point, etc. Objective is, well, you can leave this blank or leave it as default. My mistake. Unless you want to mess around, it is your wave, and do whatever you want. Mess with this, go ahead. I don't know too much about it. I only know it's what they're mainly going to be doing. Templates, these are simply made for your convenience. You can make templates, or you can add existing templates. Note that once you add a template, you can't really edit the bot there. That is, once you save it and use it, or if you try changing something while the template's active, the template will no longer be there. Load population, you can load a population file that you already have and see what it is, or you can load a default population file for examples. The right side has all the attributes. These are all weapon stats in the game before Jungle Inferno, because this website's no longer being updated past Jungle Inferno, or even before Jungle Inferno. These include weapon stats, some AI changes, and extra particle effects. Attribute stats are calculated in different ways. One is additive, simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Percentage is, 1 equals 100%, 0.9 equals 90, 50 equal 0.5 equals 50%. Invert percentage is 0.9 equals 10%, 0.5 equals 50%, 0.1 equals 90%. You basically just subtract the percentage number by 100, and that's the amount you will get. Added percentage, it seems to be the same as percentage, from my knowledge, so no need to worry about this. Only about 3 stats in the game use it, so no worries. To figure out which of these or how to calculate these, you can go to the TF2 attribute wiki, which I'll leave in the description, so you can check that out, and it shows how they're calculated, and you can use that for reference. The right side shows your bot. The top is the different classes to choose from. The second is the template, in case you want to use one. Third is the name. Fourth is the icon. You have all the slots. You have primary, secondary, melee, cosmetic, and class effects, whether this be speed, health, regen, or jump, etc. The rest, the health self-explanatory. Scale is the size of the bot. Typically, a regular bot's just 1.0, smaller bot's 0.5, and a large bot's around 1.5 or so. The auto jump min and max, we'll go over this later, but it determines the duration before the bot auto jumps, the min and max duration. We'll go over that attribute later. And the right below that is pretty self-explanatory. You don't need to mess with this unless you want the bot to take a certain route. So, for example, if you're on, let's say, decoy, not a decoy, Manhattan, there's a special flank route they can take. If you click on it, then they'll take that route. Okay, now we'll go over the attributes. You can select multiple attributes by holding control, by the way, so you're not sure just one. You have spawn with full charge. This is used for buff banners and mediguns. Always crit, self-explanatory. Hold on fire, fold fire until reload, self-explanatory. Move on death, ignore this, doesn't really do much. Suppress fire, bots won't attack. Disable dodge, this makes it so bots won't try to move out of the way of projectiles or anything like that, they'll just tank it. Not really useful, but it's there. Become spectator on death, don't use this, there's no point for it. Retain buildings, this determines if the engineer will keep the buildings on death. This is the engineer bot. Mini boss is used for giants. It does stuff like visible health bar, backstab not being insta kill, sapper only slowing, and their icon being giant, as in being red. Use boss health bar. It's similar to something Captain Punch has if you played that mission. Teleport to hint. This is used for engineers to teleport in and build things. Always fire weapon. Self-explanatory. Ignore flag. They can't and won't pick up and won't go for the bomb. They can't pick up the bomb and they won't go after it. My mistake. Auto jump. This is a part of the auto jump min and max. Air charge only. This is for demo nights. So similar to samurai demos in Manhattan, they'll jump in the air and then they'll charge. That's the air charge. A vaccinated bullets fire and blast. This just chooses what resistance a vaccinated medic has set. Weapon restrictions. What weapon the bot can only use. This will ignore if it has. It'll ignore this if it has a rechargeable secondary, for example, a bonk, buff banner, or sandwich, anything like that. Okay, the behavior push is usually for gate bots. This is the same as the mobber, which I'll go over right now. And the mobbers will always attempt to kill the players first, and even go to their spawn, and then they, whatchamacallit, they will, if they can't find any players after a little bit, they'll go back and go to the bomb. You can safely ignore the bottom portion with the little plus sign. This is if you want to add a gate bot, and basically what it does is if you add it, it will reverse gate bot behavior. So what will happen is once bots have captured all the points, then they'll revert back to just being a regular bot instead of going out of their way for control points. Medics can, just some extra notes, medics can use the medic shield, the medic robots. This is through putting gain rage on heal, and as well as putting attributes projectile shield in the pop file where this medic bot is. Look in the description. There's a little guide made by Sigsev. I hope I'm saying that right. Amazing man. He does more technical stuff. If you want to learn more about the bot AI and some quirks about Man's Machine, he's your guy. And you can also do this for the base jumper, and you can do this for every class if you add the base jumper to their class manually by putting attributes parachute on where the bot is. Like I said before, medic bots have special stat called bot medic uber health threshold and medic uber deployed delay duration. The health threshold is whenever they reach that health, they'll try and use their uber, and the delay is how long the delay is before, once they get to this limit, they'll start using their uber. Don't use all class weapons unless you have a server mod, because they'll break. They will not be in the bot's hand, and they'll just have the default weapon. Careful when using gate bots, because some specific weapons will force. I'm sorry. Let me start that over. careful when using maps like Manhattan because some bots will attempt to act like gate bots even if they're not considered one, and they'll just be weird. There is a graphical glitch with robots up top the list, and for example, there's 10 giant scouts and 10 regular scouts. When you load into the wave or the mission, they would combine and turn into 20 giant scouts, even though 10 of them aren't. Demo men and heavies icons are missing textures on the wave list as well. Heavies can be fixed by selecting heavy crit in the drop down. I'll show that in the example portion of this video. But demo mens cannot unless you use a template. Hello everybody. This is the portion of the video where I go over how to make your own wave. Okay, so let's get started. Add a couple bots. These are mostly going to show you about how the bots act and what they do. Motorcycles every day. Just anyways, so you have everything I showed in the video. Here's our bot right now. So far we have a scout here. Let's say, well, first let's pick the map. Let's go to decoy. Let's pick spawn bot. Not decoy, my mistake. I want Manhattan to show you the gate bot's working properly. So we want main 1, main 0, and main 2. By the way, you want to pick multiple spawns here because in Manhattan there's 3 different areas the bots can spawn in. If you pick none, it'll work just fine. If you pick multiple, or if you just pick one and that's it, the bot will glitch out and not spawn in that map. Personally, I don't recommend you use Manhattan at all, or anything with control points, because bots will be a little messy like I explained before. Anyways, we're going to make these scouts, I don't know, gate scouts. I'll just have the, we'll just have a bigger scout icon. Okay, so they will be a gate bot. We click that here. We also do the navigation gate 1 flank. You don't have to click this, but I want them to take a certain route. Make them expert. Screw it, we'll make them crit. Make it so they only have their primary. Then we will give them their little light, like you've seen in Manhattan before. They're pretty neat. There's a man messaging me. I don't care right now. I'm busy. So there we go. He has a little gate bot light. And make sure down here if you're using a gate bot, this doesn't truly matter, but I put on push just in case. Down here you can put a plus, and you'll have the default. Then you'll have reverse bot behavior, which is they're separate places. You can change the bot completely if they're a gate bot and they've captured everything. So, example, where's ignore flag? There we go, ignore flag. So maybe if once they reverse their behavior, they will I don't know, they'll be on normal difficulty and they'll have only their melee, maybe. I don't know. We can show that later. We'll give them a name, A1. We want maybe just 100 credits. Be a little mean. They're the first to spawn, so it doesn't really matter. 5 active bots. There you go, that sounds fine. And we'll put a sound here. You should remember in the beginning of the video I mentioned sounds. Put that there. That's for all the missions. There's no point in putting anything there. Okay, there we go. And let's make another one. Let's make them well, I want to demonstrate the squad mechanic. So we don't need you, we don't need you. Do need you though. Okay, so wait, did I get everything? Yes. Okay. So then we'll leave the credits here. Okay, I'm gonna go over how the squad mechanic works. So when you add a standard bot here, you can see they appear down here instead and kind of appear here. Well, here, this main bot is the leader, and all these are members. So the members will always try and follow the leader. Very straightforward. And what you can do here is, depending on which bot you choose, specifically medic and engineer, you can just add another one. You can make it so these medics will only heal the leader. So you can make a giant heavy maybe. Let's just give him like 2,000 health, make him a giant expert. Where's the mini boss? There we go. Premier only. So now these medics will heal the leader, which is this giant heavy. And then you also have the engineers, which oddly enough, thanks to Sigsev, if they are not the leaders, they will actually use their shotgun and use any weapons you give them. So like this engineer, he's going to be using his shotgun. You'll see when we actually get in, these engineers will attack, but as soon as that leader dies, they'll go back to their basic engineer behavior. So use that as you wish. And we can also, I'll make sure I've demonstrated everything I need to. So you can just kind of go out on your way. Actually, let's add some attributes. We want this maybe 150 extra damage. Why not? We'll be crazy. Then maybe the scouts will have heal on kill. Why not? This is for their counterpart. We want this heal on kill. Maybe, I don't know, 100 health. Why not? Just go all out. Why not? It's a Man vs Machine wave. Let's do it. Okay, so I think that's all I need to demonstrate. We got the squads. We got the scouts. That sounds about right. I already showed you the graphical glitch. There's nothing you can really do about that unless you use a template, but you know, that's fine. It only hurts so much. Anyways, actually, hold up. Here's how I'm explaining the video, in the first portion of the video. If you change it to heavy crit, this won't have a crit outline. It'll just change the icon, so it's actually not untextured. But with Demo Man, you don't have that option, so it's still going to be untextured. Kind of sucks, but, you know, oh well. It is what it is. Only so much you can do about that. I don't know what causes it. I've tried looking in the pop files. I don't see a problem. Maybe it's just weird. I have no idea. Anyways, before I get messaged one more time, I'm going to show you how to even get this wave started. So let us go on our local disk, Program Files 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Team Fortress 2, TF. There should be a custom folder here. If not, make one as such. And then in there, you want to make a pop file. In that pop file, you want to make scripts. In that scripts file, you want to make a population. And here is where your missions will go. So we're going to click Generate. Here it is, Manhattan. Now rename it to anything you want. In this case, I'll just name it to name. You can keep it the name of the map, and that will be the one that will open by default. Just kind of neat thing. Now that we have that in there, you can open Team Fortress 2, open the console here, and map, lag out, MvM_Manhattan. I don't know if this video is too much of a handful. I hope it's going to be a handful. I hope it's going to be worth it. I hope you'll get something out of it, whoever's watching this. Because, you know, this script is like, what, 13 pages? I mean, it's really big text, so it might be maybe 12. I don't know, it might be like 6 pages. Still, a lot of effort. Anyways, let
Get
us
to an upgrade station before they
go
return.
in here. And now you see our wave isn't selected yet, so let's go on the console. TF underscore MVM underscore pop file, then the name. And, you know, the name is name.
Now get to an upgrade
There it
station.
is, up top. That is our mission. I didn't put that many credits, so I might die instantly, but, you know, so be it. By the way, keep in mind, because you see that there's 20 medics and 20 engineers, I put 2 engineers and 2 medics. That means there'll be whatever the squad amount is will spawn. So adding 1 medic will spawn 10 medics because there's 10 giant heavies. So I put in 2 medics, so that means 20 medics will spawn. Same with the engineers. There's the sound effect.
Last one alive, lock the door!
And there's the engineers and the medics. I'm probably gonna die.
Very good! Very good!
Let's just go on a spectator. Okay. Can I move? Okay. Well, I can spectate. And that's it. Okay, these heavies are really fast, but that's because I didn't use the template. If you use a template for a giant, I really recommend doing that, by the way. It'll give them the regular giant stats, so it'll be, you know, very slow. Like I'll show you right now, as a matter of fact. Go up here, giant. Oh, there it is, giant heavy. Here you go. You have the default thingamabobber, whatever it is. Yeah, there you go. You have the move speed, the damage reduction, air blast, you know, foot sounds, all that stuff. Anyways, they're capturing points like mad. The bomb even spawn. Oh yeah, that's right. There's no bomb yet. So you see, the medics are only healing the heavy, and they're waiting for me to spawn in. But you see, the scouts did switch weapons. They are now restricted to melee, because that is what they're meant to do when they are, what you call it, they reverse their bot behavior. Which I think is pretty cool. You can change them. And I died by a scout. Okay, well, I think that's all I need to demonstrate here. I've gone over everything I needed to, and you should know how to kill a mission now. Here's the engineers. Yeah, I think we're good here. Because I'm dead.
The bomb is about to be deployed.
I got the bomb. Okay, and that is it for this video then. Before I just showed you the example, this is the ending portion. I want to thank Conga for the big guide on how to use mvm.tf. He was one of my main resources. Go check him out. He probably goes into better detail than I. I'm just trying to get the information out there so more people will use this program. Thanks to Waffles, like I said before, on how to play sounds. Thanks to SigSegv, there, that's his name, something like that, for knowledge about, you know, AI behavior, which I should have shown in the example. And thanks to TF2 Wiki for providing all the attributes in the game. And that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you later. Adios.